Evening and welcome to the Mancunian way. I hope we are all good this Sunday afternoon, whatever it is. Anyway, yeah, I did say we weren't going to come back live unless something broke. And hey, presto, some news came out and we're live. So I've got Andy from the 9320 podcast. Funnily enough, it's like a stranger. I've not been speaking to him already for an hour and a half today. How are you, Andy?
I'm very, very good, mate.
Good. And I've got Carl from Pitch Points and True City Fan. How are you, mate?
Apart from my right toe that hurts like crazy, I'm good. Played some football the other day and banged it up again. I'm not very young anymore, mate.
So, why we're here? Why have we done an impromptu stream this evening? Well, Fabrizio and his favourite mate broke some news about an hour and a half ago that Josko Gvardiol, the RB Leipzig centre-back, is very, very close now to joining Manchester City. Now, this has been tussling on for the last week or two. Some fans have had a bit of a meltdown while other players are signing and everyone's having a meltdown. Why are we not buying him? Why are we not doing this? And hey, presto, looks like City are on the verge of agreeing a deal in the region of around 86 million pounds, which is around about the 100 million euros that RB Leipzig are wanting. Now, a few reasons why some of these were delayed was obviously you've also got to look at the selling club. They have actively been looking for replacements because they're not like us. They've not got an abundance of centre-backs like all of a sudden we've now got. So, yeah, we were quite calm, patient, didn't have to worry about it. And they've obviously gone away and done their transfer business. They obviously had to deal with the Szoboszlai deal to Liverpool on Friday. And obviously had to get Carvalho in from Liverpool as well. So, yeah. That's what they've been doing. So in the meantime, we've been quietly getting on with this. There were some quotes that came out, and I'm just going to get them earlier. I did have them up, but for some reason it's all disappeared. Upsy daisy. That's not very good, is it?
Upsy daisy.
I had them all up, and then they just disappeared. I mean, how about
that?
Pardon?
I
know. So it came out. Around about 2 hours ago now. Is that Fabrizio said, understand Manchester City have now agreed personal terms. This was on the 24th of June with Josko Gvardiol. Came out then 3 hours ago. RB Leipzig director Eberl has confirmed. I confirm that Josko Gvardiol and agents told us about their desire to move to Manchester City. And there was further quotes talking about how he was going to be in Pep Guardiola's hands very, very soon. And then there was a further rumour about an hour ago that the hope is to be in Manchester with Kovacic by Thursday. So, Andy, start with you. 86 million quid, mate.
So, I think it is great business. Not only is he the real deal now, he's still got potential, if that makes sense. If he's the real deal now, what's it going to be like under Pep's tuition and also playing with players like Stonesy and Diaz? And I'm with you with what you said the other day, mate. It is definitely looking like a 4 centre-back formation for next season.
All right, well, what? Breaking news, you agreeing with me?
No, normally, mate, to be fair, it's you who normally agrees with me.
Yeah, good evening, Pardo Oaks. Carl? You think you're excited?
Martin, I am. I am very excited. I mentioned to you, I think we talked the other day about this, the athletic TIFO video thing they do on YouTube, where they explain kind of transfers and what Gvardiol brings to City, which is a traditional 1v1 defender, a guy who can defend, who's not afraid to defend one-on-one. Laporte's great in the build-up play, but he can't defend 1v1. It just struggles. Cancelo likewise. Walker has gotten better, but this guy can defend. He's a defender. He's a warrior. And if we play the 3-box-3 that we play, which is what he played this season, again, in the back there, you need a player who can defend. Nathan Ake can defend 1v1. Remember Saka. Akanji can defend 1v1 for the most part. This guy is a real deal. Regarding the money, I think it's fair play. I mentioned, Martin, we talked about this the other day. We said that the fact that Rice is going to Arsenal for £105 million, Rice has set the bar. Okay? That's the summer comp. That's the comp for all the deals going forward this summer. Havertz and Rice. Havertz 70 million, Rice 105. And Gvardiol comes at 85. That's good money. That's good money. I thought, to be fair, Alan, I thought he was going to be 100 million pounds, maybe 1 or 2 million pounds. He's 85. That's a good deal. And if you notice, this always happens with German teams like Leipzig and Dortmund, where when the deal is almost closed, the director comes out to say something. Remember the Haaland deal, where the Dortmund director came out and said it, to respect that we show these clubs, to allow them to be the first to kind of break the news, and we follow up with it. We have a phenomenal club, mate. We just have a phenomenal club, and this is the right way to do business, and I'm excited about it.
Yeah. I mean, he's 21, made 30 appearances in the Bundesliga last season, scored a goal, 2 yellows, no reds, which is actually very good, actually, for a centre-back. Only 2 yellows all season. Played a total of 2,168 minutes. Did have a slight thigh strain problem towards the back end of the season for RB Leipzig. But I want to make this point Muddy Ducks just made, because I talked about this on a space. I think you were in it, Andy, yesterday.
I've been in all sorts of spaces, me, mate.
While everyone was having a bit of a meltdown and everything else, people got to remember is on the 30th of June, everyone's financials reset, and you go into the brand new FFP regulations that UEFA set out. What's the full name again, Carl? You know this. What's the full name of it?
It's FSR, Financial Sustainability Rules, and FSR.
So you'll seem to notice that Chelsea had to get a load of deals done by 30th of June. Yeah. RB Leipzig had to get their financials in order by the 30th of June. Yeah. So you'll notice Arsenal are being very clever. They've got all the money spent before the 30th of June. Now they can roll in and go from the 1st of July now. So that's what clubs have been doing. Players have only just come back off holiday. Some are still on holiday. So I think there was we've seen some of our players have been getting married. Laporte, Bernardo, they were all at weddings. So the simple fact is people aren't negotiating deals at this point. Now we've hit the 2nd of July, things have now ramped. City are now ramping. You'll notice Liam Delap's gone to Hull City. Kieran Bracken looks like he's on his way to Wigan. You'll start seeing deals happening now. But for me, Josko Gvardiol is exactly a dream signing. And from what I've heard, was the number 1 target for Pep Guardiola this summer. This was the guy he wanted. Because it's all part of the game plan. Because I personally think it'll be a back 4 centre-backs. Which then calls into the question, obviously, of Kyle Walker, which we've said on the channel. Kyle Walker stays great. If he doesn't, thank you for the service. Best of luck. Well done. That's down for Kyle and the club to decide. But this guy is a 10-year signing. He's not, and not only that, he's like a giddy kid. He seems to come into Manchester City. The guy loves defending. Now, we've always had these lovely ball-playing centre-backs that can spray the ball around, but Cancelo, Zinchenko, they didn't like defending. They wanted to go forward with the ball. Defending was like the last thing. This guy is like Diaz. Throws his body in the way, head in the way. He's like just a big man mountain. And plus, if I'm right, and I'm just going to double check this, he's actually, I think he's over 6 foot plus, isn't he?
Yeah.
Don't know.
I think it's 6
Don't know, mate. But what I will say about him, like I said earlier, it's the potential as well. What we've got. Yeah, he's probably like a giddy kid who wants to join us. I just hope that if he doesn't start off great for us, people don't start citing, oh yeah, well, we put 7 past him, you know, when we played Leipzig in the Champions League, because it's not a one-man team. We'd have put 7 past anyone that night, as a few weeks later we put 4 past Real Madrid, who was considered, you know, the elite in the Champions League. Patience is the key.
Let's not forget that, you know, when we went to Leipzig and we played in the Champions League first leg, he was one that scored against us, right? People forget that. You know, so, I mean, the kid is a baller, man. The kid he's 20. The kid is a baller. He has potential, like Alan said, and imagine him under Pep Guardiola. I mean, it's the reason why we won the UCL. And I watched the game again yesterday, Martin, the full game. Right? Not the highlights, the full game. One reason only, right? 4 center backs. That's it. That's the reason we won that UCL. It's the only reason we won the UCL. Every year we've gone and tried. We played with fullbacks who invert, Cancelo, Zinchenko. They've tried the fullback who do the funky stuff. Got smoked by Madrid, got smoked by Tottenham. Laporte, Tottenham. Think about what happened with the handball. Think about what happened with another handball again. With Laporte against Madrid, Zinchenko against Chelsea, smoked by the fullbacks. We go in this time with 4 center backs, warriors, and we give them nothing. Nothing. Nada. So Pep is like, you know what? I'm doubling down on this formation. I'm going with my warriors.
And you know something as well, which is if you, and I've been thinking about this a lot. When Pep joined us, it took him, take away his first season, let's talk about his second season. He started transforming how football should be played. All right, everyone said he'd never be able to do it in the Premier League. Well, he has with, you know, releasing, you know, getting the goalkeeper, you know, to, you know, playing out of the back and stuff like that. Everybody now, near enough, in every league, I started playing that way. So Pep's going now, what can I do different? I tell you what, I'll start playing with 4 centre-backs. So it's like rejuvenating football again. They always say you should never reinvent the wheel, but if you stand still, you die. And all he does is takes us forward. And some of the stuff what he will have planned, I have no qualms with Walker staying. I want Walker to stay. By the looks of it, City want him to stay. He will be an asset no matter what. And I've just read something what he agree with in the comments. Forgive me, I can't see it was there. I can see Stonesy dropping more into that a tandem with Rodri next season as well.
Exactly, Alan. Exactly. And I thought about this. Don't
call him Alan, Carl.
Well, I mean, Alan is spot on, and
Andy. It's called Andy.
Sorry. Andy, I'm sorry, Andy. Apologies. My toes still hurt. Sorry.
Go on. I'll be Alan for the night. Go on.
You can't be Alan. You gotta be negative.
So I thought about this about an hour ago, Andy. That what if Stones is going to be the next Kimmich, where Pep plays him literally in midfield, and that becomes his role, that Rodri-esque kind of role, that semi-Gundogan kind of role. Because I watched the game again against Inter Milan yesterday, and 80% of the time, Stonesy was up the field in that 8 spot, in that 10 spot. He spent very little time with Rodri. In fact, at one point, it was Gundogan who dropped back, Kevin who dropped back, but Stonesy was always up front.
Mm-hmm.
So if Stonesy plays further up the field, perhaps Walker still stays. Hey, maybe even I may be considering, but that's another discussion, right?
I mean, the only reason I was talking, because obviously I do genuinely think this is now the end for Laporte. I think it was the end for Laporte, no matter what. Now, whoever gets Laporte will be getting a very good player. Again, we want to thank him for his service and everything he did, because I'll never forget he dragged us over that, not last season, the season before, when he dragged us over the line to win the title with an injury. But sadly, we move. Players move on. That's reality of this. Now, what we currently have, people talk about Walker, but we currently have right now for defenders. Now, people can count this as they want. We've got Manuel Akanji, Nathan Ake, Ruben Diaz. There's rumours today of Sergio Gomez staying at the football club. Rico Lewis, John Stones, Kyle Walker, and then you've got Josko Gvardiol to come in as well. I honestly do think, and that's without Cancelo, and that's without Laporte. So you've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 with Gvardiol, 8. So I do think that, again, that's without Laporte and without Cancelo. So that's where I have doubts on the Walker situation. Only because I think you'll see, when you got Rico Lewis, I think you'll see his game time reduce even more. And that's, if he goes for me. And again, thank him for the service. The ball is in Walker's court on that one. But if he went to Bayern Munich, I wouldn't begrudge him that move at his age to go and get, because those moves don't come about every day. Not at 31, 32 years old.
You know, like you say, we've got eight defenders.
Mm-hmm.
We're pigeonholing players into a name stroke position, aren't we? Now, how many of us saw Stones going into midfield? No. How many saw Akanji moving over to the left? No. How many saw Rico Lewis, who's effectively a right back, doing an inverted role? No. We talk about Sergio Gomez as a left back. It's not. His career has been predominantly a left-sided midfielder, a Zinchenko, if you like. Yeah, his game time is going to be very, very limited. However, he's having a great international campaign so far. He's in a natural position. He's playing minutes. We can't play. We can't have a bench full of absolute. Absolutely, mate. We can't have a bench full of absolute top class. We've got to have that little bit of a happy medium where, say, your Cole Palmers, no disrespect. Yeah, you've got to have your Sergio Gomez's. Rico's not quite at it yet. However, that's going to bode well. Yeah, we have got more matches. We're going to have players out of form. All this is going to do is the ones who won the treble versus the ones who are coming in like Kovacic, Gvardiol, whoever else Pep brings in. That's good. They'll want a piece of that treble action. So the ones who won it, they know their game has got to be upped, and everything starts from zero.
Yeah, that's a great point. No, it is. My only, I'm totally with you. Like I said, to me, I think it should be down to Walker's choice. If he stays, he should be what he's happy with. Mm-hmm. But I think he's earned the chance to be said, if you want to stay, stay. But I just don't want to stay and then you kick a fuss up halfway down the line. I think if people are probably, one thing Pep probably doesn't do, which is a good thing and a bad thing, he doesn't guarantee playing time for anyone. But they're not going to spend 86 million quid on this guy. By the way, I've seen a couple of people say about his release clause didn't activate till next season. From what we're reading and understanding, this has all been down to Gvardiol pushing for this. Gvardiol was, I want to come to Manchester City. I want to go now.
And Martha, this is, again, you want a player who wants to come to you. I mean, you don't faff around. If a player says, I want to come to you, right? I know my release closes next year. I want to come to you. And he lets the club know, his director know that he wants to move. It's a whole different feeling, a vibe about that. It's completely different than, go to Rice. Rice not sure. He wants Arsenal. He wants City. We're not sure. No, this guy wants to come. He's 21. He's one of the top prospects in world football. He wants to come. It's a whole different. And that also affects the price too. If he wants to come, and their release clause is less next year, then Leipzig have a duty to sell him because they're going to lose money next year.
Well, his release clause is more.
It's more.
And one point as well. We talk about the fee. That's the going rate. Leipzig or any selling club, no matter who they are, it's up to them what they value the player at. It's up to the potential buying club if they want to pay that. How many people? And let's have an honesty pill here, whether it's in the comments or us. Who thought when we signed Kyle Walker, geez, that is steep? Who thought when we signed some of these players, bloody hell, that was steep? How we paid that much money? We've the same was said about Sterling when we bought Sterling. We got our money back on Sterling, and we had great service off Sterling, in my opinion. With the likes of Diaz, absolute bargain. Edison, bargain. So let's not get wrapped up on how much we're paying for him. It's the going rate, and we've got to compare it to inflation from seasons gone by. I think 85 million is, it'll break a world record for the defender. However, he's 21 and he's already world class and he's still got potential. That is scary.
It's weird on prices. Me and Kyle, we've spoke about this, haven't we? Julian Alvarez wasn't 40 million. Akanji wasn't 40 million. So, but fans go, yes, we've got a bargain, 40 million quid. You know, no other club finds these bargains. Kovacic, 25 million. Mm. So, City, you aren't always going to find the ready-made player. There's a big difference. You look at Akanji. Akanji wasn't at the time coming in to be number one. Alvarez was not coming in to be number one. So the prices are a bit lower. When you are paying top dollar for top players, because the idea is they're ready-made. There's none of this, well, we'll see. You know, yes, there's a bedding-in period with every player. But there's not this, like when Haaland come in, you didn't sit there going, let's give him 10 games, he might not score a goal. Everyone was like, he's going to score from the get, we're off. And there was still doubts about that. But what I mean is you pay for what you get. He's 86 million because he's that damn good. And if City think he's 86 million, then he is good. Because City will walk. City walk from many. They didn't think Rice was worth the money. Rice didn't show, as Carl and Andy both said, didn't show the passion or the, I'm going to say, confidence in his own ability to break into the Manchester City squad. Mm-hmm. I think there was a lot of this. Don't play into the Arsenal narrative of, he turned you down. No, there was doubt in Rice's own mind, because what you have to remember is this is not a chump change, middle of the road team that they're walking into. This is the champions of England, cup winners of England, the champions of Europe. To get into this team, you have to A, back yourself, and B, be damn good. And if you don't feel you can achieve it, then forget it. Don't come. So I'll give Rice some of his flowers, because he had the gumption to go, do you know what? Don't know if I can do this. Don't know. So,
going on to Haaland, mate, and I think it's a valid point. Like you're saying with respect to buying the finished article, la-di-da-di-da. Not only has Haaland come and smashed the league up, he's actually improved as a player whilst doing it.
Yes.
He's never been one for dropping back, building play up, joining play. He's just been an out-and-out goal scorer. So smashing the league up in Europe, as well as developing more in a short time with Pep, it's a scary thought what Pep can do with players.
Come on, start in a minute, Sean. I mean, we've got to be careful as fans as well, because I got told today by the same person who tells me things. I will never announce their name, and Andy knows who they are. And he gets the same info I do.
I know nothing.
But apparently there is a chat of Gomez staying. And I've seen fans, yes, keep him, play him as a left winger, because they've watched him for Spain under 21s. He's scored a couple of good goals. He's played very well as a left winger. And I said this about pre-season. Some fans have gone into the Josh Wilson Esperant role. Played well against Bayern Munich in the pre-season. Keep the guy, he's amazing. No. Look at them long term. 2 questions in Gomez. Or anyone who stays. A, where did they play? In a PEPS system. B, can they do the role that is going to be required? That's my only doubts here. Gomez stays.
There's a C, mate. The C is Pep doesn't let players go out on loan if he thinks they're good enough. That's the brutal truth, whether it's James McAtee, whether it's anyone. Pep he knows what them players are about before he sends them out on loan. Now, I'd love McAtee to come back and absolutely be brilliant. By all accounts, he's going to be he's going to be with the first team squad on the pre-season tour and stuff like that. Let's see. That's all I'm saying. Let's see. I would prefer another season in the Premier League for McAtee, if I'm perfectly honest, whether it's with Sheffield United, whether it's with Vinny at Burnley, because Burnley are playing the same kind of football. There's rumours that Cole Palmer is now going to Brighton on a season-long loan. So if that's going to, I think that'd be good for Cole, if I'm honest, because Brighton play good football. If that happens,
I didn't get that text message.
You're so last year, you mate.
He didn't text me that one.
So if Cole does go to Brighton or Dortmund, what it's muted is he'll go to, then I'd like to see Gomez stay, because we can't decimate it too much. He's a year down the line under Pep's methods, so he's not been given minutes, maybe for a reason. However, he's had a season with us, and he's in a tournament now, and he'll have a pre-season with Pep. Just let's not get rid of a new toy because we're rich. Let's not just get rid of a toy and bring a new toy in because we can.
Trust me, we're not IT guys. It's what you know. It's listen. People always talked about Bernardo Silva. There's been there was another reason why it's been Carlin tonight. The next person I'm going to talk about now. These are just rumors. Frankie de Jong has been talked about today. Now, before you all get giddy and hyper and everything else, there are rumors. Now, for me, listen, these are like the same rumors we had with Joshua Kimmich, and I got very excited with that one. It was all, ask Andy, I was Joshua Kimmich, and got very hyper.
Kleenex job.
But for me, if Barcelona are seriously needing to get rid, Bernardo Silva clearly wants to go there, as does Cancelo. It's going to sound really mad here, but to me, it's a quite easy deal then to do. Give them Cancelo, give them Bernardo, we take Frankie de Jong. We negotiate his wages. He'll have to take probably a slight cut in wages because City probably won't give him the 400, 450. You might even get him a bit cheap because they still do always 40 million quid for Ferran Torres. So now, apparently he's on a list of names. There was Bellingham, Rice, and he was on the same list. So I wouldn't rule it fully out. But Carl, I'll start with you because this is your boy, Frankie de Jong.
Yeah. I mean, if he's on the market, and Bernardo wants to leave, I think we make the deal happen. We find a way to make that deal happen. People talk about Declan Rice his ability on the ball defensively in the middle of the park. This kid is light years ahead of Rice. Light years ahead of Rice, not just in international football, but for Barcelona. He has a Cruyff guy. He knows the technical stuff. He can play between the lines. He carry the ball. He's quick, and he's not Bernardo in terms of work rate, but by God, he's a baller. I think it's a deal that can happen if they do it properly. The issue is going to be one of pride with Barcelona. The thing I hate about FC Barcelona is they think that there's some kind of bigger brother, that they take out players like Gundogan and Ferran Torres, and all of a sudden that's kind of and they try to spite us with it. But this is a deal that can happen. If they want Bernardo Silva and they want Cancelo, make a deal, make it happen.
Mm-hmm.
Make the numbers happen. Cost them maybe a couple of bob here and there. We can figure out a way to negotiate wages, bring the kid in. He has a role straight away. It's a clean deal. Plays under Pep, he grows. My only hesitation is, does he want to move to Manchester? That's the only problem I have. Is he so enamored with the Barcelona weather and the vibe and all that stuff? Is he willing to fight and put his head down and fight and play in the rain, play in the Manchester sun, the rain? Is he willing to graft?
Another Bernardo situation.
Yeah, is he willing to graft, or is he going to be sulky? We don't want someone who's sulky. Look at Diaz. Look at
It's not Spanish. It's not Spanish. He's Dutch. He's been Amsterdam's not exactly Madrid, is it, or Barcelona for sunshine? He's been brought up on that environment. Yeah, he's tasted the sunshine and stuff like that in La Liga. However, if Barcelona make it clear that they won't play him, for whatever reason, call his bluff if you like. Because if he won't get 400k with us, I should imagine. However, if he wants to be playing in a successful team, and these players, 400k is like 40 quid for us. We're forgetting that. They're already wealthy people. They'll get all the endorsements and all the stuff what goes with it. They'll get signing on fees. The money part, it won't be a problem.
I think the point here too is the fact that I think now that we've won the Champions League, I think that may also play to our advantage, because in his mind, okay, I'm joining a Champions League club. What I'm trying to get at Barcelona, guess what, has a better chance of getting it at City this year. Rather than be at Barcelona and have on a Xavi and have guy Lewandowski, who is 36 now, Gundogan, who is 33. I have the energy of Gvardiol. I have Diaz. I have Stones. I have Laporte. Well, Laporte is going to go. I have Haaland. I have De Bruyne.
Mm-hmm.
City just need to make an offer they can't refuse.
Well, apparently, from what I've heard, the initial contact has to come from Barcelona's side. It's not a deal City will actively go for, because I think the way a lot of chance, if the buying club makes the initial contact, down to them to make the deal. So they've got to go in and go, right, what we doing? Bang, you make a bid. If Barcelona come to City, it's a different deal then. Because then you're kind of in the driving seat of it all. They've come to you, going, right, what can we do here? The big thing with De Jong is he's got to want to leave Barcelona. Now, the problem is they can't keep dragging that on for 2 or 3 years, not on his wages. And may I add, he will need to take a wage cut to come to City. Ain't going to splash 450 grand on him a week.
Yeah.
It won't do that. It's very unlikely if we do that. So there would have to be some negotiation. The problem is, you've got to think about it, is nobody's coming in for Bernardo. Nobody's coming in for him. So Bernardo's now got to make. Now, City always say, we will facilitate. People have said to me, well, Pep, say to him, give him another year. From what I've heard, and from what the media say, that's already been done. That was done last year. Give him a year.
Mm-hmm.
So now, and then you've got Cancelo. There's not a line of people coming for Cancelo either at the minute. They're all coming for loan deals, but they're not coming with a wheelbarrow full of cash.
Do you know why? Because they know Cancelo is trouble, mate.
Well, exactly.
He's still a young lad who's had more clubs than Tiger Woods. That speaks volumes.
So, for me, and this is just me, it's a very simple solution for everybody. Barcelona get his wages off. Bernardo gets to go there, and Cancelo. See you, thanks very much. Deal done. I know I'm in fantasy land playing FIFA at the moment, but with a Frankie de Jong and a Barcelona situation, there has to be something like that done to solve their little conundrum. And I know people are on his high wages. The problem is there's not many players left at City to go for. Because Liverpool are this evening, apparently, which I've been told they're not going for Lavia. That's off. So, they looked, it was a non-starter. So the thing is, Liverpool bought Szoboszlai, they're now after Lavia, the buy-in, and they bought McAllister.
The flip side, Martin, is people talk about the wages, but if you don't pay a high transfer fee for Frankie de Jong, that equates to the wages that you can give him, not the same 400,000, but maybe 375, maybe 350. It balances out. You're not paying 70, 80 million for Frankie de Jong anymore. Maybe you're paying 15, 20, right? Or 30, and then you have, throwing Bernardo with there as well. All of a sudden, the wages equal out. Amortizing that.
You
don't know what other players might have.
The last thing you want to do is start unrest with the likes of Haaland, De Bruyne, etc.
No, I'm not saying don't give him 400, but give him the equivalent.
Yeah, he'd have to take a slight. He'd probably have to go to Haaland level.
Yeah. Give him.
Another thing people have forgot this summer is we're trying to negotiate Haaland's deal back. Now, I've tried to explain this to people. Your transfer kitty will come from that as well. So while they're negotiating Haaland's wages for a new contract, there's not like 18 pots of money gathered around one slab. So there'll be chunks of money going into.
We can move that money about, but don't tell the Premier League. We'll move it about somewhere.
Oh yeah, well, that'll be another thing we'll get accused of. I just think it's something. There's got to be something a little creative going on because we can't keep going down this road with Bernardo. Nobody's coming from him. He's not going to split from his girlfriend, by the way. Big congratulations on him for his wedding. He's now married.
The issue with Bernardo, Martin, is Rice. Once Rice goes to Arsenal for £105 million, he sets the bar, what we call the comparisons or the comps for any other midfield this summer. So if Rice is going for 105, do you think Bernardo's going to go for 50, 60? Nah. It's not happening.
I honestly think Bernardo would go for about 60, 70 million.
I don't see it, mate. I don't see it.
Only because I think Rice was a bit more expensive. A was English. B it's Premier League to Premier League. And
that's a double. No, I don't see Bernardo 60 million.
And C, Arsenal are desperate.
And Arsenal were very desperate.
Arsenal put a bid in for me for 300 million. I had to turn them down.
Because it's weird, isn't it, Carl? In 3 years, other than Barcelona, nobody's come in and gone, here's hard cash with Bernardo Silva.
Because
we don't know that officially.
Well, yeah. I mean, PEPS said that.
Bernardo talks that much. Well, Bernardo said the only offer that came was Barcelona. But they couldn't do the deal because they had no money.
They still don't have any money.
I mean, what do you do then? If PSG wanted him so good, they'd have made the offer by now.
Let me ask you a question. If Bernardo wasn't money orientated, why didn't he take a pay cut and make that deal happen?
Yeah.
Listen, I've no gripe with any footballer earning money.
No, not me.
It's a short career, go and earn it. Riyad Mahrez, for example, it's funny how the latest Saudi rumours that have come out, Riyad Mahrez hasn't shut any of them down yet. He's been quick to shut down everything else, but he's not shut down these latest ones. So, like I said, it's very early. I mean, there's
the other part to Martin is time. We can't have the Bernardo saga going on until mid-July.
Exactly. That was where I was about to come to.
We can't do that. We can't.
The club have to say to him at some point, right, decision time. because we need to move.
Yep.
Don't come to us on August the 15th and go, fancy going now. And we're like, oh, great, all our targets have gone.
Yep.
Where do
That
we go
won't
now?
happen. That never happened.
No, that's what I mean. There's got to be a limit put on it, I think.
Yep.
Now, that might be done internally. The club might go internally, go, you've got 2 weeks.
I think it's already been decided, if I'm honest.
What do you think?
Me, I just think that it's a well-documented thing where people in the press, respected people in the press, are saying that last season, Pep said to him last season, give us 1 more season, then you can go. I think Bernardo wants Barcelona. However, Barcelona can't do a deal at the moment. Is Frankie de Jong the link to that? Don't know. If it's amicable and Bernardo goes to Barcelona, let him go. But we won't let him go without bringing somebody in first. Not a chance.
Yep.
It's not like
stupid.
It's not a Laporte situation where we're inundated with centre backs and we're all right. And we are. I mean, the next one, Gabby Veiga, been linked with Liverpool, Newcastle today. The Newcastle link ain't going away, by the way. Chelsea. Do you think this interest in Gabby Veiga is serious?
No.
The reason I ask that is it's
No.
a release clause. So it's not exactly a hard deal to get done. And City love a release clause.
Yeah.
Does that not tell you they're waiting for somebody else and he may be a backup to a backup, if that makes sense?
Could be, yeah.
That link's gone away pretty much, mate. I tell you what I think happened there. Soon as the Rice thing came about where we wasn't upping our offer, all of a sudden, a few minutes later, we're being linked with somebody else. Is that to go, well, if you don't come to us, if you don't accept it, our money's going elsewhere. So
yeah, it's very, for 35 million quid, City wouldn't hang around if they were desperate for him.
No, they'd get it done.
They'd just go in and go, bang, see you, done, finished. Yeah. So to me, I don't think he's top of the list at the moment. I think there's another target. Because I do think 100% we're after the midfielder. Who that guy is, I don't know.
But like I keep saying, mate, we're forgetting we've already got a worldie in Phil Foden. Phil Foden could quite easily play that Bernardo role. I know people will say, but we've not got cover then proper on the left or the right, apart from Alvarez, which is true. So if we don't get if Pep's not happy with the people he'll bring in, use Foden and bring a backup wide player in. So you just move the dynamics of the team. All right, this is your plan A. We can't do plan A, so we'll jig it about. We'll put him there and bring somebody else in there.
To back up Andy's point, if we notice in the final Champions League final, the moment Kevin goes down in the 33rd minute or so, if you watch the UEFA video, Pep is literally screaming his head off to call for Phil. There was no hesitation. He was calling for Phil, get warmed up, hurry up. In fact, at some point, Phil was mucking around, getting ready, shoes on. He laid on him. Phil, gets him on. And the game settled down. Phil doesn't have the long ball passing, but Phil can control. His short passing was great. His movement was good. He's off the ball. He was dropping deep. He was playing the De Bruyne role with Erling Haaland. In fact, he almost scored a goal.
It's more technical. It's more technical than De Bruyne.
And that's in the Champions League final. He doesn't go to Alvarez. He doesn't go to Mahrez. He doesn't go to anybody else. He goes to Phil Foden in the UCL final when Kevin De Bruyne gets injured.
Spot on.
In the biggest game of his whole career with City. Now, that doesn't tell you anything about next season, right? Then nothing else will. When people talk about Phil doesn't have pausa. In the final of the Champions League, when De Bruyne goes down, by the way, De Bruyne has been nursing that injury for months since the Bayern game. So Guardiola knows De Bruyne may not last the whole time. He plays Phil Foden in that role against Inter Milan's, back three, back five. These people know what they're doing, Martin and Andy. They know exactly what they're doing.
We keep forgetting we've got Foden. I would be more than happy if Pep says to Phil Foden, that's your position next season. I'd be delighted.
By the way, these are the exact quotes on Gvardiol that's come out from his agent. Gvardiol from Ebel. I don't know probably how he pronounced that name. Gvardiol's agents gave us their desire to move to Manchester City. We're in talks with City, yes, for 100 million euros plus bonuses. Gvardiol will end up in Pep's strong hands. The value of the deal would make Gvardiol the most expensive defender in history, but it might take a few more days. So that tells me it's 99.9% done. They're just ironing out the finer points a bit now.
Yep. Yeah, there may be some negotiation going on there. He's saying, hey, look, City may want him for what, maybe 75 million. They're saying it's 85 million. He put it out there. We want 85 million. City close the gap. Essentially, that's what he's doing. Right? He's putting pressure on the club to close the deal, which is fair. I mean, it could
even be terms of payment structure, and
we
want it over 3 years. You want it over 2. It could be 8. Yeah.
Yeah, the key fact here, there are 2 things here, right? One is the boy himself has said, I want to go to City, right? Number 1. Number 2, the agent says, yep, we want to go to City. Number 3, the director says, yep, they want to go to City, and we're in negotiations with the club around the fee. There are 4 factors there. So you're probably 80% done, unless something really bad happens.
All right, here's a question for you both. Good evening, Ella Johnson. If Gvardiol and Kovacic were the only 2 signings this summer, would you both be happy?
If Bernardo goes nowhere, I'm happy.
Absolutely.
If Bernardo Silva stays, and we get Gvardiol and Kovacic, I'm good.
I would. And what you two have just been discussing as well, it's blindly obvious with what you've just both been saying. The player and his agent they've approached the club to say they wish to move. Player power rules, mate, and that is the difference. That's why you will see that deal concluded pretty quickly. Now the players wish to leave the club, whereas it'll be more difficult for a Frankie de Jong. By all accounts, he wants to stay at Barca, so you've got to convince the player to move first and foremost, and that itself is they will be out again. But once the player wants to move, it'll happen quickly.
Yeah.
Maybe the Rice deal. Why has that not happened yet?
Oh, that's done. Probably that's now done.
I beg to differ on that one.
What makes me laugh? Do you know what makes me really laugh at the moment? Is that Havertz is getting 300 grand a week, 330 grand a week. They're buying Timber for nearly 40 million. Declan Rice 105. Kai Havertz was 65. By the way, Rice is going to be on 300 grand basic with 95 bonuses. Plus, then they're going after Lavia. Arteta does not have the start he had last season. That guy's heading for the job centre. Seriously going to the job centre. Because I tell you what, that ain't the fan base to mess around spending 300 odd million quid on and then not being top of the league. Because they will lynch them. But that's Arteta's problem. Because Arsenal are now going to see a different pressure. Because of the money they've now spent, there is no more excuses. There is none of this. We didn't have the squad to get over the line.
Tell you what I want to see. I want to see the bookies make Arsenal favourites to win the league from the get-go. Personally, I don't think Arsenal will be our main challenger next season.
Stop. Just name me the club, because I want to see if we're all thinking the same. Andy, who do you think the main challenger will be for us?
Liverpool.
Carl?
Liverpool.
So we're all in agreement then.
Yep, 100%. No question.
And then United. And then Spurs. And then Arsenal.
You know, I thought I was going to say Newcastle. Because I've been hearing Newcastle are going to come and get to the semi-final of the Champions League, and they're challenging us. Everyone's challenging us at the moment.
This Newcastle are swimming in a different pond now, aren't they?
Don't tell that to Newcastle fans.
No, but what I'm saying, I'm quite happy for the Geordies to be up there, mate.
No, I'm happy for them, but some of them do think they're playing FIFA at the moment.
Yeah, but now they've reached the Champions League. All of a sudden, they've got them extra games every week, whereas we're used to it. They're not used to it, mate. And to a certain extent, Arsenal, they're in the Champions League. They're going to have to play their best 11 in the Champions League as well as the Premier League. I don't think Arsenal fans will accept either and playing lesser players in the Carabao Cup and the FA Cup. They've bought big. Their fans will expect big because they're the most fickle fans on the planet. Yeah. Subscribe to the channel as well because it's not bad.
By the way, someone's asked about Borges. Borges is likely to be leaving the football club on loan. Maybe even with a buyback, sell with a buyback. But it won't be in the first team next year, mate. Sorry to say, but it won't be. Yeah, that's a good point. Maguire. There was a question down here. Is Rice? People asking, is Rice done?
No, it's underdone.
It's boiling the bag.
Boiling the ball bag, he is.
I mean, a lot of people have agreed with us, Liverpool. I think they're massively going on the radar at the minute. Colonel was exactly, this is Arteta's final season. It's time. It's got to win. I agree with you, Colonel Ward. You can't spend that money, mate, and not bag the money. Right, we're going to go for a few more minutes, and then we're going to end. I want to try and keep this to an hour max. You got a couple of more minutes, Anders, before we end. But no, I think what it shows is, as Manchester City fans, we have to be patient. Seeing a little bit of meltdown, you're now going to start seeing it get ramped up.
Mm-hmm.
And there'll be still ups and downs in this window. We'll be linked with another player tomorrow or next week, and somebody else will leave. Just stay calm, trust the club. Let's not get into this. They played well for this team in that game, so let's give them a 5-year contract. It doesn't always work like that. I said it to people earlier. You'll see it in pre-season. You'll see EDS lads that will play excellent over in Japan, South Korea, and they'll look phenomenal. But when that's pre-season, it's a very different vibe. Nobody's going at 100%. Nobody's gunning for you like they would normally gun for you in the Premier League.
Mm-hmm.
It's a more relaxed atmosphere. So look at it in the cold light of day. If it was a title challenge at Anfield, can they do it? That's what I questioned to myself with Wilson Espen.
You're right.
Was he good enough? It was, he's doing it against Bayern Munich, who aren't really trying. Can he do it with 60,000 Scousers breathing down his neck with Salah running at him?
Yeah. Hey, listen, some of our experienced internationals struggle at somewhere like Anfield, mate. Yes. You know, De Bruyne speaks about it. All our senior players, even Pep says he's never known a place like it, when they're under the cosh. So a youth team player, they'll break. I just want to answer Rogers, Ibrahim's thingy there, mate. I believe if Cole Palmer goes to Brighton, he will get games because you've got, what's he called it? Trossard, who went to Arsenal. They've also got rid of McAllister. Looks like Casado will be going. Now, with the best will in the world, they will need to bring other players in. I believe Cole Palmer will get great experience there out on the left.
Yeah. On that, by the way, Alec, I think Liverpool, if they're serious title contenders,
they'll blow that away quickly.
They'll throw the kids out in that, mate. They ain't going to go for that if they can get into a title race again.
Agreed.
I just think what they're doing at Liverpool, they're doing exactly what they should have done. Instead of spending all the money on one player, they spread it across 2 or 3. So Bosley is a very good player. McAllister was a bargain at 35 million. They ain't done yet. So let's just say Oscar Bobby's due to come into the first team because Pep likes 1 or 2 youngsters in, but it looks like Oscar Bob will come in as well. I just think we've got to relax, enjoy the season. Gvardiol is going to be a massive statement.
Mm-hmm.
A massive statement. 21-year-old. We've now got 2 Croatian internationals that will help each other settle in. We can get the big Croatian flag going around the Etihad next season.
No, I'm English, mate. I don't go for that.
Won't be the last Croatian defender we had and only stay for a season and then piss off. Thanks, Charlie. And I mean Charluka, not Charlie who's in the comments. If anyone remembers Charlie Charluka.
I thought you meant a different Charlie.
No. But no, I think we've got to relax, enjoy. But the breaking news tonight is that Josko Gvardiol is very, very close to joining Manchester City. And yeah, that is, people were moaning and we're going to spend 110 million in the space of a week and a half. Let things develop. Let it happen. I'm sure we'll buy a midfielder. I am 99% sure we'll get a midfielder. Who that is,
I'll tell you what we need to do. Calm our skin, trust Pep, all will be well.
Yep.
Yeah.
Exactly.
And here's the funny thing. Ask all our rivals, would they have Josko Gvardiol?
Absolutely.
They'd all have him.
And he must be
next season.
And he must be some player, mate, because we're not letting an amateur leave in Laporte. Laporte will get into near enough every single Premier League team. So we're allowing him to leave to bring a big, big, big player in.
Harvey, to answer that question for me, Gvardiol, we're going to do a stream on that in the next 10 days because that's going to be the interesting one. The guy I think may lose out is the guy who doesn't deserve to lose out.
Aki.
But I think he may. Because for me, I think the main 4 will be Gvardiol, Diaz, Stones, Akanji.
Unless Stones drops into midfield.
Then it becomes back 3 anyway. So you're back in T3.
But the reality is that, I mean, with the amount of games that we have to play this season, we're talking about all the FA Cup, probably all the Carabao Cup, all the Premier League, probably get to the latter stage of the Champions League, plus Super Cup, plus Club World Cup. And that's
Wimbledon, Wimbledon, the US Open.
Yeah, you need to have at least a backup in Ake, or at least somebody who can rotate with Gvardiol. You need to have that. And then it takes time for players to adapt as well. We have a lot of games coming up.
Exactly. And just enjoy it. Absolutely enjoy it because that's the best thing to do. Can I just say, by the way, big thank you for Carl and Andy to come on. Andy, do you want to tell them all about the show you did earlier on?
Yeah, we had Dante on from the 1894 group going on. He came on just to go into why the planned boycott and stuff like that at the Community Shield. Insightful. Really, really good show. It wasn't in any way going those who are going let's give them 100 lashes. It wanted to make it clear as well that it's not an us versus them. If you want to go, absolutely fine with that, but they just want people to consider the alternatives, and he doesn't want us fans to be just pushed around and bullied like we have been over the past God knows how many years. So yeah, it was a great stream. If anyone wants to go and watch it, just head over to our YouTube channel, MCFC 9320 Pubcast, and it's there free of charge.
I didn't say Aka was leaving, Abdallah. Said he might struggle. Carl, where can they all find you?
You can find me at Pitch Points on YouTube. at Gondolorian on Twitter, and then you can find me here with Martin and True City Fan with Patrick. Any of those places you find me. Always glad to support. Andy, nice to meet you, brother.
And you, my friend. I will subscribe to your channel now.
Regarding when the next stream is, like I said, we're going to take the break when they go over to Japan because I'll be in Turkey.
Getting his
so
hair
I'm going
done.
to take the break then. I did say that last week, so I don't know why Alan was asking me earlier. I thought you were having a break. But anyway, if anything breaks between now and Thursday, we'll be on then. If not, we'll have a show Thursday night. Might talk a little bit about, continue about this Community Shield. Because I think it's a bit of an intriguing one. Because it was a great show from Andy earlier, but I've got another question of where we go with it.
And they're all valid points as well, mate. In this situation, there's no right and there's no wrong.
No, there's not.
And that is the beauty of it.
It's not about right and wrong. I just want to know is, because I think it's a great idea, I just think it has to go to the next level to make that bigger impact as well. Because we can win it. As fans, we can win this fight. But it's going to take that sacrifice as well. Just whether we're able to or willing to do that next step to make them listen. Because the Community Shield's a start, but what we don't want is it for it to be a start and then a finish at the same time. Because people aren't willing to kick to the next level, if that sort of makes sense. But watch Andy's, you'll see what I mean, and then we might do part 2 on Thursday on here.
Absolutely.
Might be a good way of doing it. But anyway, yeah, Carl, thank you.
Welcome. Thank you very much.
Appreciated. Everyone will be back, if not sooner, Thursday at the latest. But yeah, kick back, relax, and trust the board. These haven't won the treble because they don't know what they're doing. And don't go watching stupid documentaries on YouTube. Don't do any of that. Yeah. Stay away from that one. Because you won't get the answers you want. But anyway, yeah, thank you all. Please smash that like on the way out. If you are new at that, subscribe. And go and subscribe to all of them as well. Colonel Ward said the argument works either way for the Community Shield. Yeah.
Right
yeah.
or wrong?
We'll go into it on Thursday more. Take care, all. See you on the next one.
Take care.
Have a good week, all.
Bye-bye.